We should rotate the webcam in circles. There's definitely lots of people that will never know, like, the terrors of early web design, right? Like, what GeoCities is. Oh, good. My string constant is out of date again. It's good I missed you. So, for those of you that are just joining us, if you haven't seen this deck before, this is our first match in this league. This deck called Land Nauseum. It is a combination Ad Nauseam lands double combo deck. And you can see here, this opening hand is just going to look like Turbo Depths, right? We've got Urborg, we've got Stage, we've got Dark Depths, we've got a turn 3 2020, which is probably going to be too slow against Storm. I think Underground Superiority, statistically Storm could be some kind of weird fair deck, but statistically this is probably Storm. That's something I haven't heard said out loud in years, right? Judgeinator with the 9-month 3 subscription. Happy Twitch, baby. Thanks 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. I do appreciate it. Some of the 4-color controllers are premium preordained. That's right. I forgot about that. Probe likely means it's not a control deck. Hey, Flip Toss. Thanks for the Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome to everyone. Hope everyone's having a good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. I get to auto pass. That's my favorite part about getting Gitaxian probed in Legacy, is that when I don't have Force of Will, I can just auto pass and not have to bluff Force of Will. Did my command not update? I thought I updated that to fix it. The link should be enabled. There should not be a parenthesis. Alright, that was not the Chalice of the Void I really wanted to draw. We're going to play the Dark Depths here just so the Urborg doesn't accidentally, like, save them from cracking a fetch land, but I assume we're going to die this turn or next turn. I think this hand was a keep, but it's definitely a little bit slow here. So this is a deck that was originally submitted as a donation deck list way back, I assume we're losing these, way back forever ago, and we've just been tuning and tuning and tuning. Magica Fiend with the $12 donation. Thank you very much. For the Abzan Flicker Dep, the top 8 of the last Modern Challenge. Sounds good. We'll get that added. 20% off is our best discount. We've got real sponsors now. We get big discount codes, Marty. All right, they have to kill us this turn, or they have to have a way to bounce a 2020. Yeah, that's true too. It's only 20% off the first order. That's true. All the other codes are continuous. I already renewed, but it keeps telling me to share again. Well, thanks for sharing again, Pong. Welcome back. Oh, geez, are they dead? Please be dead. I think they might have just skipped their first main phase. No, are they dead? That would be so good for me. It would be so good for me if you're just dead, opponent. We were exceptionally lucky to win that. That is not how that usually goes. All right, so Flusterstorms, Tormod Crypts in, Explosives out, Slaughter Pact out, Karakas and Maze of Ith out. I'm gonna board in Surgical Extraction as well and cut this Vampire Hexmage. So, for those of you that are new and you're just joining us, one of the things, Tabernacle stays in case they go off with Goblin. So, Tabernacle is our one tutorable way to deal with Goblin tokens in case they do that. Now, that standard is reasonable. Would you take donation decks for it? I'm not going to be doing standard, Leclerc. There's just too much demand for things that are non-standard. It could be test 2. I think you should just hedge and leave Tabernacle in this matchup. You need lands in your deck too to kill your opponent. So one of the things that you need to do with this deck when you're playing it is you need to manage the total converted mana cost in your deck, because one of the ways we combo kill them is Cunning Wish for Ad Nauseam, and then we draw our entire deck with Ad Nauseam, and we're only able to do that if we have less converted mana cost in our deck than we do. Hey, with the $12 donation. 12 democracy dollars for some Dice Factory. Thank you very much for the support. I'll get that added to Dice Factory in the queue after we're done today. Maybe the Surgical... I guess the Surgical can steal games. The Surgical can probably steal games. So this is how many total converted mana costs? This is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's probably fine. And, like, we'll draw one of these always. So... I kind of wouldn't mind the last Walking Ballista, but at the same time, it's just, like, not really that great. For those of you that are wondering why Mindbreak Trap is staying in my sideboard against Storm, we're a Cunning Wish deck. So that is staying there to Cunning Wish for. This hand's actually pretty good. We get to play all of these out, and then we can transmute this for a Chalice of the Void. To a degree, Immortal. Like, for 3 digits, I'm probably willing to venture into Standard, but, like, it's like Pauper, right? Like, there were people that wanted to donate for it in some amounts, but, like, at the end of the day, like, the viewer numbers weren't bad, so, like, I'm making less money off of viewers and Twitch, and then, like, I'm not getting modern content through, so... Force of Will. Interesting. And again, we're playing a rogue deck here, so opponent doesn't really know what we're doing. So gaining some percentage points by playing something that our opponent's not familiar with. Or we could just draw a Thespian stage. Well, that's quite excellent. Well, I'm definitely doing this and ditching this Dark Depths. I wonder if because I drew this... I think I actually want to just go get a Tormod's Crypt here. Is that nuts? Is it nuts to just go get Tormod's Crypt? I'm definitely transmuting this. I think because we drew this naturally and we're set up for a fast kill here, I think I should just get Tormod's Crypt as a way to, like, prevent them from going off with Past in Flames next turn. And then I can set up to combo them next turn, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to grab Tormod's Crypt and play that out here. And then next turn we just, like, make a 20-20 and kill them. And, like, this isn't guaranteed to kill them. Like, they could go off with Ad Nauseam and we could still die here. But I think this sets us up, giving us the best possible chance to actually win the game. I guess I could get Chalice on 0. You could argue that, like, I'm all in on the land plan here. The problem with Chalice on 0 is that this is a post-board game, so my opponent could realistically, like, Echoing Truth my token here, and with Chalice on 0, I can't actually execute my own Storm combo. If you... I prefer Tapped Out or MTG Goldfish as decklist. Which here, High Tide is, not... We played it on stream at some point in the last 3 months. Be sure to check the YouTube videos. It wasn't particularly good. It's kind of clunky and slow. It's kind of clunky and slow. Alright, kill me through the Tormod script. Or have a bounce spell, I suppose. If they have a bounce spell, we're going to continue playing Magic here. Yep. Okay, so this is going to get... I assume this means they have more and they're just, like, getting more rituals here? Yeah, so we're probably going to see, like, Rit or, like, Rit Petal into Tutor for Ad Nauseam. Yep. And if they have Tutor for Ad Nauseam, they'll have 1 mana left over, which probably means they'll be good enough to kill us. What's going on, Vix? Yep. And like I said, it's very possible that I should have gotten Chalice. I don't know, that's close. And they hit this Chain of Vapor, so like they could just stop here and like take this as a value Ad Nauseam basically, since they hit Chain of Vapor to not die to this, but they still have some health to work with here. They haven't really found... I guess they did cast 3 Dark Rituals already, right? So they've got 1, 2, 3... plus 3 is 6 mana, 7, 8 mana. And they have LEDs, and there's the Infernal Tutor, so that's lethal. I'll go ahead and just concede to the deterministic kill there. So for those of you that are new to Legacy Storm, my opponent would play Petals, cast a bunch of Rituals, cast about Lion's Eye Diamond, cast Infernal Tutor, crack Lion's Eye Diamond in response to Infernal Tutor, grab Tendrils and kill us. Just gonna go ahead and run it back here. Is Legacy pull and the same amount of years as Modern? It does not on average. It's a little bit less than Modern, which is why we play more Modern and less Legacy. I mean, yeah, this hand's pretty good, right? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Discard Tabernacle. I'm gonna play this Petal. I'm gonna cast this Hexmage. And then the really sweet part about this is we have, not only do we have the turn 3 kill, but we can Cunning Wish for Mindbreak Trap to prevent a turn 2 kill out of them potentially. Until they probe Therapy us, of course. Oh, I could have... Yeah, I'm dumb. It's been a while. We could have turn 1'd. Yeah, it's been a while. I could have just done... I was so focused on the fact that I could, like, cast this Cunning Wish onto. Yeah, 10 out of 10 should have done this, and played this, and then tried to kill them on too. Although I guess, like, I don't know. Their deck doesn't kill on 1 very often, and like if they had a Chain of Vapor, we could have been in trouble. And like that would have cost me my Lotus Petal, which is what lets me cast this Cunning Wish. They could still have Therapy. They could go Petal Therapy. I'm gonna go ahead and take my chip shot in here with the Hexmage. Might as well. I don't know that it was a strict mistake, the more that I think about it. I didn't consider the ability to turn 1 them. It wasn't a line of play that crossed my mind. When I stop and think about it, I think there's merits to both. And I think I like taking the slightly more conservative line, but I could see arguments being made for just being aggressive there, for sure. My mistake, my certain mistake, was not thinking about what I was doing. I definitely didn't stop and consider all the possibilities, which is something I should have done. And then I'm going to go ahead and cast this Cunning Wish here at end of turn as well. I'm gonna make them have it here. If they have a bounce spell, they have a bounce spell. I'm gonna Cunning Wish for Ad Nauseam, and then if we draw an untapped mana producing land, we get to kill them with Ad Nauseam next turn as well. Unfortunately, don't have a Pact of Negation, but like, if I had Pact of Negation, I couldn't pay for it anyways, right? Should I get Boil? Nah, I'm just gonna get Ad Nauseam. Alright. Legacy, like, basically has games on both extreme ends of the spectrum. It has, like, games that's a ding. That's a big old ring-a-ding-ding. So even if they have an answer to this Merit Liege, we should kill them with this Ad Nauseam this turn. All right, and again, you always want to be conscious of what the total converted mana cost in your deck is currently. So we've cast 1 Cunning Wish and 1 Vampire Hexmage. So that means I have 15 total converted mana costs out of the 19 converted mana costs in my deck. So that means I currently have 14 converted mana costs in my deck, and since I'm at 20 health, I can just draw my entire deck here. This is sweet. Got to kill them with both halves of the combo this match. Different game. So we draw the entire deck. Turn off auto yields. Turn off auto yields. Just in case. I want to skip through my turn. Nope, don't want to repeat anymore. I have my entire deck in my hand. I mean, I'm going to do it during my main phase, but no, there's really no difference between doing it later and doing it during my main phase. And they can't even interact with us at this point because I have a Pact of Negation and 2 Flusterstorms in my hand. So even if they have ways to interact with us, like, they're not going to be able to. So we cast all of these things out. What's going on, DJ Jedi Jeff? That's great. Hey, Anatomic, with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you, and welcome. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. So thanks for putting your Amazon fund money towards my channel this month. So how this kill works is we play out all this fast mana that we have, and then we're going to Cunning Wish for Lightning Storm, and Lightning Storm our opponent for lethal. For those of you that have played Modern, it's identical to the kill condition that Modern Ad Nauseam uses. What's the storm count? I'm really glad we don't have Grape Shot in this deck anymore. And we Summoner's Pact for the Grape Shot and kill them, right? Alright, you did. You did, opponent. Cast my Cunning Wish. All the best, Jeff. Swear back, Weldon. Alright. Holding down my control key so we can retain priority here. I gotta click on this stuff, apparently. Still holding control. I'd like to discard some lands, generate some counters. And that's enough for him. That's enough. I don't see how they couldn't put this deck into MTG Arena, right? It's just very, very clearly reasonable and fine. Everyone out there's having a good day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just love the flexibility and the number of angles of attack this deck comes from. Sometimes you even get to like kill them with Anemic Beach. You like Chalice them and like attack them with Vampire Hexmage and Walking Ballistas. Bob and Cheese, from basically a daycare to a stream sponsored by Men's Fashion. How far we've come. Ain't that the truth? Thanks for sticking around, Bob. Welcome back. And, you know, it's your fault I'm playing Hearthstone. Hope you accept that responsibility in your life. I mean, yeah, right? This is a keep. It doesn't kill till turn whatever, but this is definitely a keep. Just the classic 1, 2, 3 turbo depth draw. This is also a 1, 2, 3 kill. So, Walking Ballista it's a really crappy alternate win condition, but more importantly, it's also just a 0 cost card that doesn't add to the total converted mana cost of our deck. So it's like a spell that we can play that doesn't hurt us when we draw our deck with that Nauseum, is basically what it comes down to. So I'm going to lead on Urborg. Nah, I'm going to lead on Dark Depths here. And the reason to lead on Dark Depths is this way, if we draw Vampire Hexmage, we can turn off audio. Let's actually want to play this Petal out in case they're a Thalia deck. I want to lead on Dark Depths because that way if we draw Vampire Hexmage, we can play that next turn off of Urborg without cracking the Lotus Petal. It's a little awkward playing this one out to start because this is the one we don't have 2 of if we get Wastelanded, but I think it's correct because of the percentage to be able to draw Vampire Hexmage. Could be Maverick, could be Elves. Bayou is interesting. Not leading on the Urborg also doesn't give them free black mana. Smells like Maverick. I didn't want to lead on Urborg because I didn't want to give them free black mana. I mean, we're not playing the deck to not go for it, right? There is a non-zero chance that they have Swords to Plowshares in their deck. If they pass leaving up white, I might play it cool. I'm just gonna pack it in. All right. Yeah, I like not giving them mana. There's like ups and downs to both for sure. All these cards come in here. Just Walking Ballistas, Engineered Explosives to kill their stuff. This is not a Pact of Negation matchup. I always go back and forth on if I'm supposed to board in the extra Slaughter Pact or not in this style of matchup. I need 3 cuts here. Honestly, I could see trimming some of the Hex Mages just because, one, it leaves less total converted mana cost in my deck, so we can take some damage before we try and combo. And also, like, being on the Turbo Depths plan is a little bit worse against deck that has access to Swords to Plowshares and Karakas. There aren't really any of my lands that I could reasonably cut. I guess I'm bringing in a bunch of lands. Maybe I could just cut one of these kind of randomly. The Fetid Pools is a little slow and clunky. Bring in the Boil to send a message. I think we're gonna pass on that one. Oh, also, the fun thing about the what's it called? The way that the Mac Weldon sponsor is set up is if you purchase the stuff using the link through there, the Google Close link, it'll actually pop up a notification on stream when you buy stuff. It was a real slick integration. You can also choose to not have it pop up if you don't want it to pop up. I'm just saying that the option is there. Just saying that the option is there. I think I'm gonna keep this hand just because I've got like, I technically have a combo here. I guess if we draw like a Petal or a Mox, we could technically turn one them, right? Oh, they're playing Post. Interesting. Okay, I was putting them on being a Maverick style deck, but I guess Post makes sense. It doesn't make sense. They're playing a Brew. Chalice, yep. It's a fair assessment. That is... Well, this is about to be real good. Let me say hello to my little friend. Your move. Opponent hitting some pretty bad beats this game. Oh, this is this. Can I show this on Twitch? Is this legal? Are they gonna pull me off the air for this one? This just that felt dirty. Hey, look, Walking Ballista is in this deck because it's a 2-mana deal one that we can play that doesn't actually, what's the word I'm searching for? It doesn't have converted mana cost. I feel like I'm far enough ahead that I kind of wish, maybe I should have, I think I missequenced the turn I drew the Walking Ballista. I think I was actually supposed to play the Ballista for 2, so I could have left it over. Knife Cat is what we referred to my Kaiji character in Skyrim as when I streamed that. So, since I drew this other Dark Depths, I'm gonna go for it this turn, since I like have half my combo to get reset back up with. I could have played the other Ancient Tomb to play the Ballista for 2. So I shouldn't have played the Underground. See, I could have played the Ancient Tomb to Ballista for 2. Hey, Bardic. Put these bits towards Skyrim because Knife Cat must write again. I plan to stream some Skyrim when Skyrim Together exists for sure. I assume we're gonna gain 20 here. Oh, gross. Well, that's really good because it prevents us from... Yeah, it prevents us from going again. Okay. I'm going to play this out and discard this Ancient Tomb. This is why there's a Wasteland in our deck. We have 1 Wasteland for dealing with Karakas. And other troublesome lands like Maze of Ith and stuff like that. That's right, Shabin. He's a rude dude. Yeah, they could have just crop rotated. They could have crop rotated the Bayou, Tom. They wouldn't have the Bayou. They just like would only have Dark Depths. They'd have worse mana, but they definitely could have still gone there. All right, what am I getting with this? That's a good question. Is it just Chalice of the Void? It might just be Chalice of the Void. This also should have copied my Underground Sea. Oh, I should just get the Wasteland? Yeah, that's probably for the best. We play Wasteland for situations exactly like this. Why aren't you getting the Wasteland, Jeff? God damn it, chat. And I'm just going to waste them off the Karakas now to cut them off of having 3 mana next turn. Pretty unlikely there's Loam in their deck. If they have Loam, it's like, you know, whatever. Yep. Urborg's actually a pretty good draw, because it means if they're able to beat this Dark Depths, then we'll be able to cast Ad Nauseam if we draw Cunning Wish. People are just buying them out, Larinax. Just random MTG finance nonsense. Basically what it comes down to. Opponent knows that we're just gonna go for it. Well, welcome to everybody that's hanging out here today. Off to a quick 2-0 start with Ad Nauseam, one of my favorite memes in Legacy. If you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing to my channel on Twitch. My subscribers are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. I stream on Twitch full-time here. Stream Magic 30+ hours a week. You can also support my stuff by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And then Mack Weldon offers premium men's clothing. Using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/Google codes. You can save 20% on your first order there with them. So, actually, I need to add a thing here real quick. So, the people that are running the ad campaign for Mack Weldon, they're a little bit, I'm just gonna say it, they're kind of being weird in a sense that they only want sales driven from the banner to come from Twitch. So they asked me not to post on Twitter with the banner, and they asked me not to post it on my personal page. So I was gonna throw it up on my personal page with everything else, but so that's why it's not there. So, as you saw me flip back and forth there, to avoid the sellout bit becoming, you know, 2 minutes, my goal is to play Magic, not to just sell a bunch of ad space. Although selling ad space is nice. I split my ad page up into 2 of them, and I'm going to talk about half during each break. So, shorter breaks. Yeah, I understand, but that's just why it's not on the other thing. Yep. I guess I shouldn't call it weird. They made the request that it only comes from Twitch. And I told them that it was going to have to go on my YouTube, and they said that was fine. At any rate, got some sweet clothes. These are Mack Weldon clothes. They sent me some stuff. Good quality stuff. Got some t-shirts upstairs, too. How does this deck work? This deck has a multi-pronged attack is the best way I can describe it. First, we're a turbo Dark Depths deck. We have Vampire Hexmages and Thespian Stage and Dark Depths along with Tolaria West to tutor for our missing pieces. And then we have a bunch of fast mana to make 20/20s very quickly. We have a backup plan of locking people out with Chalice to the Void. And then we have a third plan of Cunning Wish for Ad Nauseam in order to draw our entire deck, play a bunch of fast mana, and then Cunning Wish for Lightning Storm to kill our opponent. Everything I've read says the underwear are great. I opted to pick up some shirts to start because I wanted things that I could wear, I could show you on stream. It's frowned upon for me to show my underwear on stream, so I opted to wait to get those. Glory to the fastest gun in all of Legacy. Prototype. Thanks for the 11-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I mean, this hand's not super quick, but it's fine, right? If our opponent's playing a degenerate combo deck, we're going to be a little bit slow here, but against most fair decks, this hand is reasonable. Hey, Jules W8, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I really appreciate that. And there's a lot of excellent people streaming on Twitch right now, so I appreciate you choosing to support my content here. Flooded Strand into Probe. Some kind of Monastery Mentor deck, maybe? Some kind of Monastery Mentor deck. I guess it could also be like Storm with budget fetch lands too. Oh, it could be just Delver, right? Because Delver can play any blue fetch lands. Because they just play Volks, Underground Season Trop. Could be a lot of things. Believe it or not, blue fetch land, Gitaxian Probe, most of Legacy. Most of Legacy. Looks like Delver. All right, so I am a huge proponent of any time a Delver deck goes land, Delver, go against you in Legacy, you should always Wasteland them. Their deck is greedy and doesn't play a lot of lands. Try and get a free one. If they have a second land, you know, they have a second land. They have a Wasteland, sure. All right, I'm gonna lead on Dark Depths here. Since I have extras of those. Man, Nimble Mongoose. Let me tell you about cards. If there was a card that's ever made me want to flip a table more than anything else, it's definitely Nimble Mongoose. That card is real obnoxious. Huh. Why aren't we asking the real questions? Why aren't we Slaughter Pacting the Delver? Because they just force us. I mean, at least Nimble Mongoose is like a fair and balanced card, right? Nobody can target it with stuff. You can't put a sword on it like True Name. You can't put a Batterskull on it. You can block it in combat. It's got a lot of good things going on for it. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Hey, Zane Quinn, awesome. Thanks for using the code. Thanks for checking out the sponsor. You're forcing my Zuran Orb. No, this is how I was gonna win the game. This is how I was supposed to stay alive, opponent. Oh no! Oh no! They saw the line. They saw the force the Zuran Orb line. Alright. Alright, so they're wasting the Thespian stage. This gives me a window to Slaughter Pact this and not die, which is nice. It's worth noting here, so my opponent has timed their Wasteland incorrectly here. So, for those of you that are Wastelanding Dark Depths decks, you can let this copy Dark Depths and then let the Legend rule resolve as a state-based action, and then in response to this trigger sacrificing itself as a Thespian stage, you can Wasteland the Thespian stage while it's a Dark Depths, because the Dark Depths only makes a 20/20 if it only makes a 20/20 if it gets sacrificed. So if it gets Wastelanded, it then doesn't get sacrificed. So my opponent could have taken this off the table. Tilt. At least if this would have happened one card sooner, we definitely would have been in a lot of trouble. Do I just go get Chalice for one here, right? Just like not close. Doesn't the game check state-based actions when the new... No, it does not. We are down to 5. Our backup plan is not going to be good here. Oh, no, they have a delve threat. Oh, I guess they could have Pyromancer too, right? Nope, this is a big fish. Man, Reddit was right. Ban Gurmag Angler. This is the real problem with Grixis Delver. It's this damn fish. This damn fish is the real problem. It's not any of the other obnoxious efficient cards. It's this 5/5 common is the real issue with this Delver deck. All right, let's board in a bunch of removal. We're just going to become kind of a control deck post-board. Karakas doesn't do anything here. I actually thought it was really funny, Larynx. Like, the mental gymnastics you have to go through to validate Gurmak, to validate Deathrite Shaman and Delver and Brainstorm and Force is all like just perfectly fine. Wasteland is perfectly fine Magic cards and True Name, and then to arrive at Gurmak Angler and go, you know what? Fuck this guy right here. This is the one that's no good. Get it out of here. Looks like Squints. Thanks for the Twitch Prime support. And there's a lot of excellent people streaming on Twitch. I appreciate you putting your fun money towards my channel this month. Rendrag13, thank you for the 4-month resubscription. I do appreciate that. A third of a year. Welcome back. I thought your username looked familiar, Squins. They wouldn't know a fun card. That's true. It's definitely Stockholm Syndrome. I don't think this is a Flusterstorm matchup. I'm pretty sure I just want these for the combo decks. I'm just gonna board in like my Maze, and like I'm basically boarding in 4 removal spells, right? Like all these are just ways to kill things. No, Tormod Crypt's not very good in this matchup. Tormod Crypt's for like Storm and dedicated graveyard decks. Like trying to keep them off of Gurmag Angler with that card is not particularly good. This hand just doesn't do anything, so I'm going to mulligan. We want either a fast Dark Depths draw, or we want a Chalice of the Void. You could maybe argue that, like, Maze is good enough. Maybe this is fine. This cycles. I guess I get to do this. Nah, I'm going to mulligan this. This hand's much better. An advertising agency that is extending into advertising on Twitch reached out to me, Gabriel Paints. I always do that. I just glance at your username and I miss the I. Gabriel Paints. Chalice, go. Your move, Yugi boy. All right. The old, I did in fact remember my Magic Online trigger, opponent. I don't like Maze against a 4 Wasteland deck. So I think Maze is fine in a matchup like this. I think that we have a lot of ways. We're not blanking Wasteland, right? We're not turning Wasteland off against us. Wasteland is going to be a a card that's good against our deck regardless of what we're doing, basically. So I would rather overload Wasteland rather than try and blank it, since blanking it isn't an option. Hey, Brian, thank you very much for the bits. I do appreciate that. Let's go down, Hulk. Yes, trigger. Oh, they're filling the graveyard for Delve, probably, right? They're just gonna try and kill us with the fish again. If they have a land, they could actually fish next turn, right? Or another 1-mana spell here. I don't have Tormod Crypt in my deck. If I feel we need to answer Gurmag Angler, we'll just go get Maze of Ith. So if they play a real big fish here, I'll transmute for a Maze of Ith, because that's why Maze of Ith is in our deck. It's a removal spell we can play as a land drop. It's supposed to, it's actually very nice out here today. We're supposed to get up into the 80s tomorrow, though, which is probably sounds a little obnoxious. All right, so we're at 14. So our Ancient Tomb draws are definitely painful in terms of using Cunning Wish, because we do need our health in order to live through that. But thankfully, we are just getting set up to combo them with Dark Depths here. So we get to go ahead and transmute this third Tolaria West here for Dark Depths. God bless you, not making me click through it this time. And then, I guess... Huh. I guess they could Diabolic Edict us, huh? Hey, Glad Nauseam. Thanks for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. Hashtag relevant username. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for putting your Twitch Prime towards my channel this month. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how I sideboarded. Just gonna click submit here. It's a real shame Slaughter Pact doesn't kill big fish, but I think Pact's worth having in just for like picking off Delvers and Young Pyromancers in a matchup like this. This hand just, like, generates a lot of mana and then just spins its tires, right? We have double Mox Diamond, not a whole lot of lands to do with them. Let's play catch and release here. I guess I'm going to keep this with the Scry. There's a lot of lands in our deck. Sure. I'm going to play this stage before I play the Zuran Orb, so I'd like to play around days. That one's not a picture of me, Priest, believe it or not. How often do you use Boil? I don't think I've ever actually cast the Boil. It's been in the sideboard, but I'm not sure that I've actually used it. I threw it in there because Miracles can be a little bit hard. Hopefully we hit a mana producing land here that's untapped, so not Fetid Pools, so we can slam this Chalice of the Void. We could also potentially slam this Walking Ballista, right? Tilt. Remembered my Zuran Orb trigger. I've got that going for me at least. Alright, well, definitely just playing this out tapped. Okay. Yep. I guess we do in fact play magic cards, so Surgical Extraction makes sense. The purpose of Zuran Orb is a way to transmute to gain health in the event that you've taken enough damage that you can't Ad Nauseam to draw your entire deck. So remember, the Ad Nauseam combo in this deck depends on having enough health to draw every card in our deck, and sometimes we take enough damage that that's not an option. Hey, I'm Rahil. Thank you for the 3-month resubscription. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. A quarter of a year. I assume this is flipping to Brainstorm. Yep. Fair and balanced Magic the Gathering cards. Hopefully, if we draw a non-mana producing land, it's a Maze of Ith and not another Dark Depths. No, Orb, or if sacrificing Depths to Orb comboed, Orb Dark Depths would be a thing in Legacy. Are they the perfect? They unfortunately do not make owl costumes. Although that really seems like an unexplored market in general, so maybe more people should try it. I'm just really glad they haven't played Gurmag Angler. Get that problem child right on out of here. We're gonna die pretty quickly here. I think the second Delver is just gonna pretty much be lights out here. The world would write a terrifying, terrifying place. This was Brawl, we'd still be at 28, right? KM Draven with the 5-month resubscription. Thanks a lot and welcome back. I appreciate it. Thanks for helping me do what I do here. Thanks, love all your content. Thanks for the YouTube vids. I'm glad you get some mileage out of the YouTube vids. I've been sitting for a little over an hour, so let's stand up. Enjoy the ride up, Twitch. All right, I'd love to be on the play here. First time we've done that today. I mean, sure. So Brawl is automatically better than Tiny Leaders, or will have more support than Tiny Leaders because it's officially supported by Wizards of the Coast. So that's a big difference. As for how the format actually is, the fact that it's kind of overrun by a couple of few commanders, it's probably going to take a round of bannings or two to get Brawl to a reasonable format spot. Because remember, a lot of these cards that are legal in Standard right now, and thus legal in Brawl, weren't designed with Brawl in mind, most likely. Oh no, are we dead? I think we might be dead, chat. Yup. All right, so we're not dead this turn, but we're dead next turn. Okay, what can I do here? What can I do here? We can Cunning Wish for Slaughter Pact, right? Oh, I could also Cunning Wish. Nah, it's probably just Slaughter Pact, right? That buys us like a turn. Yeah, that's our only line to not die here, right? So let's wish for a pact to kill wall because they have Belcher Song in their hand. If we don't kill the wall, we lose the game next turn. This makes 2, this makes 3. Seething Song, cast Char Belcher, LED, lets Belcher blow us up. So, have to take the wall off the table this turn. I don't think filter lands are particularly good in Modern, especially if you're pairing them with colorless lands. You can't wish for explosives. You can only wish for... If you could wish for any card, the wishes would be really good. You can only wish for instants with Cunning Wish. I think I'm just holding on to this for now. My AV is coming off in 2 turns. I don't think it's worth cracking this to play Ancestral Vision. I wasn't really enjoying Hex. Their standard format went through a bad spot, and then Hexent made a couple of bad decisions, and I just wasn't having a good time, so I stopped playing. All right, if we draw an untapped mana-producing land, which is very specific here, we can Walking Ballista and kill this Tinderwall. We also have Engineered Explosives that could kill it. Unfortunately, our AV's not coming off for 1 more turn. Well, that is what we wished for. Is this the longest game Belcher's ever played that they still possibly had a chance of winning? I feel like it has to be, right? Die, Tinderwall, die. And then we get a bunch of draws at drawing and Engineered Explosives to clear their LEDs out here. If we get to clear their LEDs before they kill us, we could be in a really good spot here. That's true, we can't wish for a land. We did just talk about that. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. If they have 2, they need to get to 3 mana. If they can get to 3 mana with their 2 unknown cards, Seething Song lets them cast Belcher. All right. All right. This is really good for us. Get to draw 4 cards here. I got to cast an Ancestral Visions against Charbelcher. I feel like that's like an achievement unlocked moment. Well, now I'm just wishing for EE, right? Or I'm just getting Engineered Explosives here. Oh, I could also get Wasteland, huh? Do I want to just get Wasteland? What's better, Wasteland, or I can get Chalice of the Void too? Chalice doesn't seem very good because Spirit Guide into 2 mana Ritual doesn't get stopped by Chalice. I could also just get Pact of Negation, huh? Do I just get Pact of Negation because I can pay for it? How do we feel about... I kind of like getting Pact of Negation. I'm gonna get Pact of Negation. Yep, I like Pact, suspend another Visions. And then next turn we get to play our 2-1 and put them on a clock. Man, who's really glad we didn't Engineered Explosives? This guy, who's got 2 thumbs and is glad we didn't Engineered Explosives. This guy right here. So the reason why I really think Pact of Negation is the better get here is because one, they can't interact with it, and two, the Belcher deck has to blow its load to cast a spell we can counter. So like, they'd have to spend 2 to 3 rituals to cast this Goblin Charbelcher, which then we trade this Pact of Negation for like 4 of their resources, and they don't have a good way to recoup them, right? Gromach, sure. The imprinted and empty. Interesting. Okay. So this is them going for the first Belcher here then, right? They're going to cast Seething Song and then they're going to cast Belcher. I mean, we have a ton of really good draws though, Master. Like, we have Engineered Explosives is still a good draw. Dark Depths is a good draw. Tolaria West is a good draw. Like, we have Cunning Wish is a great draw. Like, we have a lot of draws that are just quite excellent here. So they have just a Charbelcher left in their hand. So a second Rite of Flame actually lets them go off. Chalice of the Void's a decent draw here. So we have a lot of cards that are just like genuinely good pickups here. And Metamoods with the 8-month big resubscription. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I appreciate that. Be sure to let me know what you'd like your donation deck list for the month to be. This is going down to 2. That one right there, chat. All right, we have to fade exactly Rite of Flame, right? We have to fade exactly Rite of Flame. Chalice on 4 would also be good. Yep. All right, don't Rite of Flame, because Rite of Flame is Dark Ritual currently. Rite of Flame jumps them from 2 to 4. Survey says I have 1 copy of Wasteland in our deck, which also would have been a good draw. They're giving up? Did they not realize they had an out there? All right, sure. I'll take a freebie. They definitely could have killed us with that Rite of Flame, though. Maze of Ith doesn't do anything here. Tabernacle's great. Engineered Explosives is reasonable. Walking Ballista doesn't do much. Flusterstorm is fine. Slaughter Pact doesn't do anything. If I'm boarding in these Flusterstorms, I need to trim a Hexmage. That way we can still combo. Oh, them Wastelanding. No, they don't have anything like that. I leave the Mindbreak Trap in the sideboard to Cunning Wish for. So, yeah, I think we just click Submit and then hope that... I think we just click Submit and then hope that they go off with Goblins or don't have the turn 1. Mindbreak Trap is basically a card that you never board in this deck. I mean, this we couldn't lose if we were on the play. Opponent mulligan to 6. Their chances of going off go down dramatically when they mulligan. All right. Double Spirit Guide. No, boarding in cards like Boil dramatically decreases our chance of winning if we try and go off with Storm. I think they didn't realize they were in their upkeep and they did these things and then, well, I mean, I'll take it. Maybe I should have discarded the Urborg. Oh, probably doesn't really matter. We could brick off for a little bit here. I mean, as someone who's like all up for shitting on Magic Online, like that one's hardly Magic Online's fault. What my opponent messed up there. Playing this out turns on my Mox Opal for my Flusterstorm. Don't pact them as quality advice. 10 out of 10, don't pact them as good. Just good clean living. All right, and then they should be dead next turn. When we Cunning Wish for Ad Nauseam here. We need to hit a mana source off our 4 draws, but we're pretty likely to hit a mana source off 4 draws. Chalice stops 1 copy of Flusterstorm. So that's why we play Flusterstorm in our deck, because Chalice of the Void will stop the initial trigger, the initial Flusterstorm, but the storm trigger and the extra copies will still go off. Hey, Picknetters, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of excellent people streaming on Twitch right now, and I appreciate you choosing to put your subscription towards my channel this month. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. All right, so float, land, keep the new one. Draw my entire deck here. Yes, you can submit decks as Twitch Prime. You don't get a free decklist submission. The free decklist submissions every month only are for the tier 3 subs, because if I gave every base sub a free decklist submission, I would literally not be able to play them in a month because there are 1,000 of you. But yeah, if you want to, the ability to send in donation decklist is included with Twitch Prime subs. Twitch Prime subs are exactly the same as the $4.99 a month tier 1 subscription. I think depending on the format you want to play, you're expecting to play against more Angers and Verdicts in the main is fine. I think Angers and Verdicts in general hedge matchups that are already pretty good for that deck. So I don't know that I'd necessarily worry about that. Worry about hedging them further. But if you're expecting not a lot of unfair decks, then sure. There's a Cunning Wish around here somewhere, right? Yep, right there. Whisper me on Twitch. So you wanna send me a whisper or send me a direct message on Twitter. Oh no, chat. What if they redirect Lightning Storm back at us by discarding lands? How will we ever win the game? What if they point this back in our direction? Thank you for everybody who's hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time TCG player and content producer here on Twitch. I stream Magic 30 plus hours a week. We stream a bunch of Modern and we also stream some Legacy here as well, as you can see today. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. You can also support my stuff by supporting my sponsors. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can take 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your magic cards into other magic cards or cash directly with other players. There's no haggling, they just take a 1% fee right off the top. And finally, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anaronix, Justin, Nivik, and you. At the very least, if you are new, please make sure you hit that follow button. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything, and it lets you know when I go live and with what. I always try and put the names of the decks that we're going to be playing on a given day in the stream title. That way you can kind of know what to expect when I go live. And if I do go live with something sweet and you can't catch us live, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of my streams get archived there, so you can watch just the stuff that you care about. I always pick them up by deck and by match. Is this a new script? So, since I added Mac Weldon as a 6th sponsor, my goal is to not have giant ad breaks. So I am splitting my ad breaks into 2 different screens here. So I've got 3 of the top at one and 3 of the others at the bottom, and then I have the opposite one scrolling on these pages. And my goal is to talk about the top 3 on each of the ad breaks rather than having this big long ad break. Because it was getting to be a bit of a mouthful even with 5, so 6 I think definitely would be too many in one straight shot. I am an expert at selling out, quote me if Kakana. I am quite good at it. Selling out pays the mortgage. That felt as long as the old one. It definitely did not. As the person saying it, I have far more breath. Far more breath. I think I need to adjust MTG Box that limits the number of people I can trigger the command. The new sponsor is Mac Weldon. They're a premium men's clothing line. They made this wonderful polo that I am wearing right now. You can check out that bit.ly/HugelClothes and save 20% on your first order with them using that code Jeff Hoagland there. You see the banner right below me right now. Does this hand do anything? It really doesn't, right? Like, there's no combo pieces. There's no Chalice of the Void. This is a deck. Well, I'm not going to explain why I broke it up every single time. I'm just explaining that this immediate moment for some of the regulars. Yeah, I'm going to run. So this is a deck where you don't want to keep all hands that are lands and spells, especially on 7. You're looking for pretty specific cards. You can check Mulligan Close 7 into Unkeepable 6 off your bingo cards. This hand is not good, but it's certainly a keep. They did give me a discount on some of their products, so I have a couple of their polos and a couple of t-shirts from them. This is literally the same Belcher player we just played. I hate Magic Online sometimes. It's so miserable. I mean, I guess this means I know I should be aggressive here and do this. I wasn't sure if I wanted to Mox Diamond discard this Underground Sea, but since they're playing Belcher, I definitely want to be able to Cunning Wish for Mindbreak Trap here. I mean, I know we just won the last match, but I don't think this matchup's actually that good for us, for reference. I'm pretty sure this matchup is not good for us. You think he unbound the upkeep stop? I hope so. It's really kind of criminal that in the one place on Moto that Magic Online should be really accessible, or I guess it should be accessible, it's just not. So they're gonna Ritual, they're gonna Burning Wish, they're gonna crack Burning Wish. They'll crack LED in response to Burning Wish, which is fine. I'm gonna let this resolve because Mindbreak Trap's gonna get all the copies. I want them to actually take empty the Warrens out of their sideboard. Diminishing returns, that's cute. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. This is a wheel stream. That's fair. It is a wheel stream. All right, they have 2 land. They have 0 cards, but they have 2 land. So if we run a couple of mana sources off here, and that's a heck of a mana source, chat. So if we draw a black source next turn, we get to kill them with Ad Nauseam. And we've already drawn 2 Cunning Wishes out of our deck, and there's only 18 converted mana costs in our deck to start. So we can activate this Ancient Tomb again and still go off. So we just need a black source. It's pretty good. We'll cut off some of their mana. Am I supposed to put this on 2? I'm gonna look at my Belcher deck really quick. I think I'm supposed to put that on 2. Wishing Main gives them more information, but it probably doesn't matter. No, Chalice on 1 is better because it cuts 8 of their spells off, right? And they've already played a Desperate Ritual, so they likely only have, like, they have Burning Wish and stuff that it cuts off, but I want to cut more of their mana than anything, I think. So I think putting it on 1 is correct here. I'm going to give you a 10-minute timeout to go read the card that you're talking about, that you're telling me I'm wrong. Because believe it or not, you could probably make the argument that I've cast Tinderwall more than almost everyone in chat combined. And you do cast Tinderwall. That one's not an exile. There's an Urborg, God bless. And sideboarding with this deck is exceedingly easy just because there are so many constraints on what you're actually able to board in and board out. Like, you can't board in most of your cards that are Cunning Wish targets. Even if you wanted to, you can't really board them in because you can't afford to have a high total converted mana cost in your hand. There's cards like Maze of Ith that are like very obviously bad against the deck with no creatures, etc. Huh. I guess this is fine. There's a non-zero chance we can transmute this before we die to goblins. It's hard to pass up Flusterstorm on 1. How does this deck feel compared to their shotgun decks in Legacy, specifically Belcher and Ant? Well, it's not strictly a shotgun deck, is the thing, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. This deck has the ability to lock people out with Chalice of the Void, and it has interaction via Cunning Wish, so it's not an all-in combo deck like those decks are. It's not a Belcher-style deck. We do have a clothes sponsor now, Hippity Long Ears, Mac Weldon. They made this wonderful polo that I'm wearing right now. Quality stuff. Yeah, I mean, Belcher kills on turn 1 a pretty significant amount of the time. That's why it's good. Let's see if they wheel here or if they make goblins. I think we do, Porge, because 1, they'd already spent a ritual, and they generally don't have 8 2-mana rituals. So the option was cutting off a like 5 2-mana rituals or cutting off 8 1-mana rituals. And since their bottleneck was mana, I'd much rather try to choke them on not having enough mana. So I want a Chalice on the number that cuts them off of the most mana. Infernal Tutor, sure. So we have Tabernacle plus 2 Engineered Explosives to clean up goblins here, if that's the line they go for. They don't have enough mana to fire off Belcher, and even if they did, You suspend it and you wait 4 turns for it to unsuspend. This is cute. They looped a lot of extra storm count here. Alright. That's only 18 goblins, so we need an artifact or an engineered explosives so we can a non-chalice artifact so we can transmute the Tolaria West and play Tabernacle. Mox Diamond would be great. Lotus Petal would be great. Not Mox Opal, because obviously we can't play 2 of those out, but opponent said, don't Tabernacle me. Alright, so that's not going to be good enough, right? We get a redraw here. We get a redraw here. Yeah, we're going to 2. So anything to turn on the Mox Opal or engineered explosives does it here. That'll do it. That'll do, pig. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That being said, we're gonna play kind of an awkward game here now, right? Because we're at 2, I can't kill them with Ad Nauseam, so I'm going to have to. Holy crap, they had a spirit guide. So if they draw a land grant or another spirit guide here, they get to keep a goblin. Oh, I can Flusterstorm a land grant. So they need to draw, if they draw another spirit guide, they can keep the goblin. Lordy. What weird games of Magic. Oh no, I can Cunning Wish for a Slaughter Pact. I can Cunning Wish for a Slaughter Pact if they draw another spirit guide. We have all the angles covered in our toolbox text chat. We got toolboxes for other toolboxes. Okay, that's pretty good. That's half of a combo we can execute when we're at 1 health. They drew another one. They were probably super excited when they drew that too. We got all the lines covered, chat. We've got all the lines covered. Can't slip nothing past land nauseum. Do I hate fun? Look, I am playing a Storm Lands combo deck, okay? I very clearly love fun. Magic's a skill game, and the better player always wins. Just easy life. Easy life. Didn't even need these cards. Remember, chat, if you practice, nope, you can't practice being this lucky. It's gotta come, you know, maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe you're born with it. You definitely have to be born with it. So much skill. Such skill, much wow. Was that the 4-1? I don't remember. Or 3-1 or 4-1. That was the 4-1. All right, sweet. Land Nauseum. Luckier than Jarbelcher. I think this deck's a lot of fun. If you're looking for something kind of weird and different to play in Legacy, I think this deck is you actually don't have to pay for the Tabernacle trigger because Tabernacle destroys the creature and the token is indestructible. So if you're looking for something kind of fun and weird, that's true. If you're wearing a Mack Weldon polo shirt, you will always draw exactly what you need. So you should consider picking one up. And you should use bit.ly Google Close and use that Jeff Hoagland code to save 20% on your first order of polos. If you want to budget this deck, because Legacy is stupid expensive, this Tabernacle and these Underground Seas, these could be Dark Slick Shores. These could be Dark Slick Shores. You save yourself, you know, $350 a copy or whatever. Tabernacle, you can play another Engineered Explosives. There's an online advertising agency that's advertising, extending into advertising through Twitch, and they reached out to me, Camwell. So a couple of people, I'm going to talk about the deck here really quick before we wrap it up. A couple of people asked about Walking Ballista. Because one of our combo game plans is to Cunning Wish for Ad Nauseam and be able to draw our entire deck, these are the only cards in our deck that we can play that have converted mana costs. So everything else in the deck is not only a 0 for transmuting with Tolaria West, but it also needs to be a 0 so Ad Nauseam doesn't kill us when we pick up our entire deck. Yeah, so these are the 5 cards you could budget. All of the rest of the expensive cards in this deck are pretty necessary. You can't, Mox Diamonds, Mox Opals, Chalice of the Voids, the deck's not functional without those. These cards, you could turn this $4,000 column of 5 cards, you could turn those into something else. It's $2,800, so $5,000 column of cards, sure. All right, I'm going to, what are we doing next? After Land Nauseam, we're gonna play some Delver Burn. So if you missed this league, or if you want to see more of this deck, we started with this as a donation deck. It was fairly different when we started. I've got an article about this deck on gatheringmagic.com, and there's probably close to a dozen other leagues of Land Nauseam on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see more about this deck, check out my YouTube channel.